All right, so I realized that I made the entire thing and then I forgot to press record. So I'm gonna do this again. But now I'm really good at it. So this is what we're making right there. And then this is me making it the second time. Probably looks better the second time. Anyway, and so yeah. So what we're gonna start out by doing is you want to go ahead and go look online and grab 3 of these images here, and you're gonna look up just cursor with green background, and then hand if you want this one. You don't have to grab 2 of these. You could just use 1. This is kind of the base frame video we're using. So you just have this hand comes up, clicks it, and then goes away. So yeah, what we're gonna do is instead of some people grab these ones like the white transparent background, and you can grab this, but and drag it into Photoshop and get rid of this. But personally, I just like to use this method because it's a lot easier and saves you some time. So get that out of there. We'll go ahead and drag these other 2 into our comp. So you've got all of these, and then I'll go ahead and line it up as want the subscribe button to be on the bottom. I didn't rename these files because I'm lazy. And then, so we've got all these, and you're gonna go ahead. Actually, I also created a layer, just a white background to have. So that's pretty easy to do. All you do is go up to graphics, new layer, rectangle, then you change the fill to white. Yep. And you want to go ahead and move the scale up as well, so that way it fills up your whole screen. So after we do that, you just grab the Ultra key and bring it down on these 3 here. And then you're going to go ahead and take this little thing here and just click the green. Basically what that does is it gets rid of that singular color. This is how people use green screens. Very fun. Yep. So now we've got our 3 things there. I'm going to go ahead and basically take away these. So we just have our subscribe button. That's what we'll be working with first. And we want to create it where it comes into the video there. So we're going to start, jump over here, go to scale, click the time code there, or stopwatch rather, and like right here is a good place for it. So yeah, just right where that is. And then we want it to be 0. So go ahead and drag that down. Oh, I did it backwards. It's okay. And then we want it to be probably not 100. I think I did 80 for this one. Yeah. So actually you're going to have it be, it's going to come up larger than what you actually want it. So instead of 80, we're going to make it 80, or let's do 75. But we do that at the end there. So that way we get this sort of feeling where it comes up and it gets bigger for a second and then it goes back to what it's supposed to be. I do this because without it, if I were to take that away, it just looks like this. And it doesn't feel animated at all. It feels kind of dead. But when you give it that more of a cartoony, it jumps up like that, it feels alive, and it does a lot more for the video, in my personal opinion. So we have that so far, and then that's when the mouse comes into play, or the cursor. So we're gonna go ahead and make that visible again, and then we're gonna bring it down to, let's say, like 30. That looks about normal cursor size, yeah. So we don't want this, our mouse to be in the image to start. So we're gonna press the position, stopwatch, and I'm gonna move this off screen. And then typically I like to move it a little bit higher just because it'll help us create the animation. So just right there, not in the middle, but like in that area. So, and then we're gonna go ahead and to create the animation like it's coming out, you drag it down. I like to give it some kind of a movement there. And I only create 2 of these keyframes because it looks like this kind of motion. You're going to click on something like that. Kind of a hook there. So we got our first keyframe, and then we're going to have where it finishes off, which is right here. Cool. So now we have this. So, and the reason I stopped right there is because that's when we switch out this mouse here with the hand cursor, because your cursor's hovering over the button. Therefore, it changes to a different shape. I'm trying to show you an example with my mouse here, but it's not, there's nothing here that does it like that. And you can keep it as the same cursor if you want, but I just switch it out because it looks better, in my opinion, when you click on it with the hand instead of just the regular mouse. It kind of brings your animation to life a little bit more. Gives it that professional look. So you're going to go ahead and keep it just for 1 frame right there. And we're going to turn back on this layer. And go ahead and move this to where your other cursor is. I'm going to go ahead and make it about 80 though. Just because it's too big there. Oh, I move it exactly where this left off. And then you go ahead and put the position one right there. So now we have this, your cursor turning into that other one. There we go. Yep. So now that we have that there, actually you can go ahead and just, no, that's good. And then you're gonna go ahead and take that away and bring this right there. Yeah, so that way when that goes away, it turns into that. Now what we have right now is it looks like this, and we're gonna, so as soon as it turns into that, you can't just have it stop there because that just looks really weird and not natural at all. So we're gonna jump over here and kind of create a little bit more movement for your cursor, so it looks, not like a robot's controlling it. So this right here, as you can see, it works, but I still think it looks a little bit too robotic, that being the cursor. So I'm just gonna make this a little bit closer, actually. That way it carries that speed. So there we go. So it just comes in that moment there, and it looks like it stops at a normal spot. And this, you can do this 2 ways here. The click of the subscribe. I like to animate the cursor itself as going, like it looks like getting smaller and getting bigger because it looks like you're clicking it, versus just the subscribe button getting smaller and bigger. But I will show you how to do that. So that brings this up here. I jump to this. And then we want to create another keyframe of scale. And then we're going to make it 70. And then 75 again. Cool, so now we have this. And I'm going to make that a little bit closer together. Yep, just like that. So, and the reason, so this is what we got. And so now you can do that, but personally, I like to make the cursor here move. And just how you do that, pretty simple. Once again, you're just going to click on this. We're going to do a scale and move that back 1. So we want it to stay there. And then change this to 75. Or I might have to do, let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to move that. No, actually, don't move this. I lied to you. And then back to, actually, let that stay there for 1. Then back to 80 is what I had it at? Or is it 75? It was 80, okay. So that kind of just makes it, that's too far. I gotta move it closer together. Still too far away from one another. Okay, then just a bit more this way. Nope, too far. Is there enough change there? Let's see. So now we got this. So yeah, as you can see, I keep watching it back and forth, but it looks like you do click that, and there's a little bit of a delay between the mouse getting smaller and the thing here. So I'm gonna go ahead and change that so it looks like it's happening at the same time there. If not the same time, just a little bit closer. So now the mouse is too slow. Just a bit more. Perfect. Okay, so now we have this product right here, which is almost what I made there twice prior. And then just a way you bring this to life a little bit is put a sound effect in there. I got this sound effect from a website that I use called Footage Crate, and it is the same website that made this right here. This was free to download, and same with the sound effect as well. And as you can hear in this sound effect, it's got like a weird after noise. I don't know, I just want the click noise. So I can go ahead and shorten that. And to apply the default transition. Bring that to the end there. So now it sounds more like a click. And then I put this at -12 just to be a little bit quieter. That sounds not like an aggressive, super loud click. And then I'm going to go ahead and find out where that is. Yep. Cool. So now we are left with this product right here. Yeah, and that's kind of what I have and what I built prior. And this is just an example. You can get rid of like the background here if you don't want that. You just have almost the same thing. And the same way, so like let's say you wanted this to disappear, just like it does in this one. And as you see, it does get bigger before it gets smaller and disappears. So you're going to have that get bigger and then disappear, just the same way we had it come in the beginning. So you just want to recreate that. Yeah, you make it bigger and then it gets smaller and just disappears. So yeah, that's pretty simple. It's how you make that. And let's say you don't have a subscribe green background button that you needed to use. And let's say you're trying to get this button from a different place. I would just take the opacity, or this here, for example. Let's say we're not using the background. You go ahead and click on this right here, and you draw a mask around the object you wanted to animate as a button. And that should help you basically make it a black background like this. But yeah, that is how you create the simple button click. All right, quick bonus here. So let's say I wanted to use this subscribe animation in a video and not have to basically create like just the same thing I created there and put it over the video. So you would actually jump back to your original comp here, and you want to change this background instead of just being black, because this doesn't make it transparent. This, the video you're gonna get is just a black background. And when you drag the Ultra key on this, let's say I'm using it here and trying to get rid of that black background, nothing's gonna happen. So what you want to do is you should come over here and change your shape right here to a green color, and you don't want it to be a black or a white color, because both of those are in this comp here. And then once you have that, you can go ahead, drag the Ultra key on it, jump over here and grab that, and now you have that video. So you can put that excuse me, sorry, right over our animation here. Yep. And then you just obviously mess around with it. Right here. There we go. And now a problem I did realize when coming in here, you can see my mouse just kind of appears at a thin air there, just because I had it come on the right side. Jump in the opacity and make it only appear when that comes. And you can just do that by pressing this over here, render it. Yep. And you'll be able to have this subscribe button play in your video.